Alright, so we're going to try to install the startx plug-and-play system. Pretty much what you see in the direction shows you where to find everything. This is a 2016 Dodge Ram, so the one that I got is for 2013 and 2017. Then it shows you the programming codes, or how to program it, and then doing the computer and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to work on this and see if we can get it to work. I've never done this before, so I'm pretty mechanically inclined. I can figure a lot of stuff out. I looked for videos. I didn't see a lot of videos on how to do this, so I'm actually going to look. Apparently we're supposed to take out this screw underneath the dashboard from the videos that I've seen, and the other one on the other side, and then use the little pry tool that they gave us, this little thing right here, to go up here and pry off the dashboard. Let's put it on that side. Bit on that side. Okay, the pry tool did come in handy for getting in here and prying this open a little bit. As you see, it's got little clips that are holding everything in place. And then I got the cover off, and this is what it looks like underneath the steering console. So the wire that we're looking for is up in the back of this, from what I understand. So there's the ignition. And we're supposed to undo this one here, from what I'm gathering. Okay, this one here pulled off. I just wiggled it a little bit and it pulled right off. So that is actually right behind the ignition switch. That's what's controlling that. Okay, so now what the instructions are saying is the T-harness. If you flip over to the next page, it showed everything that I just showed you. Showed right there's the two screws. That's what it looks like when you pop it open. Right there's where the ignition is, and it shows you that's the OBD2, which on your panel, apparently the OBD2 is that one right there on the front cover. So it's telling me to find out, right there's the one for the OBD2, but there's two of them in here, and it tells you in the instructions, find out which one matches yours, and then connect it into the T-harness. So the directions showed that there could be one or the other OBD2. There's only one in the package. It's got two ends, but there's only one. This right here looks like it goes up in the ignition. So that's going to connect to the black wire I have down there. This one here is going to connect to the white wire on the T-harness. And the OBD, I guess, plugs into the one underneath the dashboard, I'm thinking. That's going from the T-harness to the OBD to whatever. Going in from the ignition switch back out to the ignition. So right there's my ignition right there that we took this little cord off of in the ignition. So I'm going to take that off, and we're going to plug that into this one. Please hold. But it's going to plug in right there. That plugs in there nicely. And then this up inside this ignition, just like that. So now we have a line going to the ignition. It comes down to them. Guessing this right here is what the unit's going to plug into, the little starter unit. This OBD2 whatever blah 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 is going to plug into the dashboard here. Okay, I got this one out of the dashboard, but I'll be honest, it's kind of a pain to get that out, because you have to push in these little tabs on each side and then push it back through. So those little tabs there do make it a real pain. Okay, so what I'm doing is OBD2 thing or whatever. I am just simply plugging it right in there. Make sure it's going the right direction. Plugs right in, fits in nicely. And the other side, I'm going to take that and simply plug that in that spot right there. I had to force it a bit, but it did fit right back in there. So there's the OBD2 harness, and it's going into that unit. And now from what I'm seeing, this only fits in one direction. So that white one's going to go into the middle white one. It's the only one it fits in. Blue's going to go to blue. And the black, the short black one on this thing, is going to go to the short black one on the back of this. And there it is all plugged in. Short black one, short black one. Only spot the orange or the white will fit, and the only spot the blue will fit. So I'm gonna go through the directions, try to get this thing programmed, and figure out what in the world we're doing. Okay, right now it is blinking green. So we went through all this. Hold on, I gotta remove this power. Remove the power last. I already removed the other two like it told me to, and it told me to remove the black one last so we can go program it. Okay, so far we are right here. I did the open push to the OEM remote, push the unlock on it, and it wouldn't blink green, it wouldn't blink green, it wouldn't blink green. I finally got it to blink green by putting the key. It finally did a green blink. I unplugged the unit and plugged it back in. I unplugged the unit and plugged the unit back in several times, and I couldn't get this light here to blink green until I actually took it. I did the open the door, close the door, open the door, stuck the key in the ignition, and then hit the unlock button, and then it went green. Then I took the key back out of the ignition, and then I stuck it back in, and I turned it all the way to run. It says turned it on. I turned it all the way to run. That's when it went red. And when it went red, then I turned it to the off position. I removed the key, I set the key back in, turned it back on, and it started blinking like crazy almost immediately. And then I turned it back off. It told me to disconnect everything and disconnect the power, and then use the little this little thing. It's got a USB jack that plugs in the computer, and a cord that goes inside this that goes into the power of this, and that'll unlock the programming and stuff of it. Gives you the website and stuff to go to. So I'm going to go get that done. We'll come back in and we'll see if this works. Okay, I went to their website, and whoops, it's having me install the drivers and everything else so I can hook up the device. The little adapter it gives you for USB on your computer, that little part there. Yeah, that little part right there is what plugs into the black part of the unit, and we'll see what it does. Sorry I don't have a screen grab, but I went to their website, startx, and did the startx/software, and then did the combined link, and that page popped up with everything on it, and it just got that install and everything. So let's see what we got to do. Download Internet Explorer. Will not work without Internet Explorer. And then once I got in there, create a password and everything else, and then it tried having me register and find everything manually. I just plugged in the USB, and it ended up finding it. I clicked proceed like it said, and it went through. It says it takes 6 seconds. It was actually about 30 seconds. Then it says part 2 is complete, so now I connect the module inside the vehicle, and let's see what happens. Now we're back in the vehicle. Module's done, and it says to reconnect and turn the key in the on position. So blue's to blue, white's to white, black's to black. And then the next part in the directions say reconnect, or put key in, turn it to the on position. Light should turn green. And yes, the light's green. It was green for 2 seconds. It says turn off. And then it says turn to start position. Turn key to off. Key's now back off and out. Your module is now successfully programmed. Let's find out. So now if this is done right, should be able to shut the door and hit the lock it, lock it, lock it, and it just started by itself. Now ain't that sweet? Now unlocked. It is running. There is 0 key in the ignition. Turn it to on. Next question is, how do you get this thing to stop? on, hit the brake, and turn it off. So hit the brake and turn it off. Now it's back off. Tied up everything and popped it all back into place. And then put those 2 screws back in the bottom. And yeah, the screw over there, the screw right here. Tied up everything in back with a bunch of zip ties, and we're good to go.